This primer has been designed to give both the new candidate and layman alike basic information into the Scottish Rite's history, organization, customs, regalia, and answers many of the basic questions often asked by new candidates. Although this video is specific to the southern jurisdiction of the United States, Mother Council of the world, much of the information is relative to subsequent jurisdictions. We hope you enjoy. The Scottish Rite, as it's known today, was established in 1801 in Charleston, South Carolina, with John Mitchell serving as its first Grand Commander. Like craft masonry before it, which took on its modern form in 1717, the Scottish Rite drew upon earlier forms and practices, including the Order of the Royal Secret, which was the immediate predecessor of the Rite. Between 1813 and 1815, a second Supreme Council was organized in the North to counter a clandestine Supreme Council that had been created by French Mason Joseph Sinew in New York. In 1827, a territorial agreement was reached between the northern and southern jurisdictions, designating the 15 states north of the Mason-Dixon line and east of the Mississippi River as the boundary line between the two jurisdictions. In 1911, construction began on a new headquarters building located at 1733 16th Street Northwest in Washington, D.C. The architect, John Russell Pope, was also designer of the National Archives and the Jefferson Memorial. In 1915, the House of the Temple was completed and has served as the headquarters of the Supreme Council Southern Jurisdiction ever since. The Black Silk Cap. The black silk cap, adorned with a double-headed eagle below a red triangle embellished by golden rays, is the cap of a 32nd degree master of the royal secret. If allowed within the valley, it can be additionally adorned with pins or other identifying badges indicating a brother's affiliations. The Black Scottish Bonnet. The Black Scottish Bonnet is the distinctive regalia of a member of the Knights of St. Andrew, with the addition of feathers added to the top to distinguish further rank within the order. Members of the Knights of St. Andrew may choose to wear this cap in place of the black silk 32nd degree cap, except while in a tiled lodge. The Red Silk Cap. The red silk cap, banded in red and adorned with an embroidered red and gold cross with a clover in the center, denotes that the wearer has been invested with the rank and decoration of a Knight Commander of the Court of Honor. It is given to a brother who has been a master of the royal secret for at least 46 months and who has distinguished himself in service to Masonry, the Scottish Rite, or to humanity. The White Cap. The white cap, banded in white and gold and adorned with a red and gold patriarchal cross, is the cap of a 33rd degree Inspector General Honorary. One who has held the rank of Knight Commander of the Court of Honor for 46 months is eligible to be elected to this degree by the Supreme Council. It should be noted that this is often mistakenly referred to as an honorary 33rd degree. The wearer of this cap is a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Mason, but an honorary member of the Supreme Council without voting rights. The Deputy Cap. The white cap, with patriarchal cross and banded in red velvet, identifies the wearer as a 33rd degree Mason who has been appointed a deputy to the Supreme Council. The wearer of this cap is oftentimes the head of an Orient, but is not a voting member of the Supreme Council. The Violet Cap. The violet cap, adorned with a patriarchal cross and dark velvet band embroidered with laurel vine, leaf, and berries, is the cap of a sovereign Grand Inspector General, who is a member of the Supreme Council and may also be the head of an Orient. The purple silk cap. The purple silk cap, banded in purple velvet adorned with laurel vine, leaf, and berries, and a cross of Salem, is the cap of the Sovereign Grand Commander of the Supreme Council, and is unique to him alone. White cap with blue band. The white cap, banded in blue with a gold Teutonic cross, is the cap of a Grand Cross of the Court of Honor recipient. The Grand Cross is the highest honor awarded by the Supreme Council, with less than 90 living recipients. The light blue cap. The light blue cap, banded in light blue velvet with gold trim and with the number 50 surrounded by a laurel leaf, is the cap of a 50-year member of the Scottish Rite, and is often chosen to be worn over other distinctions. Scottish Rite Masons pray in the manner and the sign of the Good Shepherd. The sign is made by bowing the head slightly, the left hand covering the right with the fingers spread towards the shoulders. The prayer cap remains on during the procedure. The overall effect is that of a lamb being carried over the shoulders of a shepherd, with the lamb's legs held in place. Albert Pike is considered one of the most profound and influential figures in the history of the Scottish Rite, possibly in all of Masonry. He is directly responsible for the philosophical development of the degrees as they are still used today. Pike was born in 1809 in Boston, Massachusetts. He was a lawyer by trade and served as a brigadier general during the Civil War. He became a Freemason in 1850 and received the 32nd degree in 1853. Between 1854 and 5, he studied and transcribed the degrees and later served on a committee to revise the rituals. He received the 33rd degree in 1857 and was elected Sovereign Grand Commander in 1859, serving until his death in 1891. In 1871, he published his masterwork, Morals and Dogma, which is still in circulation today. In 1944, by an act of Congress, his body was reinterred in a special crypt at the House of the Temple. Scottish Rite rings. The 14th degree ring. Scottish Rite Masons between the 14th and 32nd degree are entitled to wear the 14th degree ring. It's usually, with variants, a flat band of gold featuring a black equilateral triangle enclosing the Hebrew letter Yud, the initial letter in the name of God. It may be worn on any finger. It should be engraved on the inside with your name and the date you received the 14th degree, along with the Latin phrase Virtus Junix Mos Non Separabit, which is translated, Virtue has united, and death shall not separate. Special notes regarding the ring. After your death, the ring should be passed down to your widow, eldest son, or the friend whom you love the most, but is not to be worn by them unless earned. 33rd degree ring. Scottish Rite Masons who have received the 33rd degree have the right to wear the 33rd degree ring. The ring is a triple band of gold with the optional number 33 in the center of an equilateral triangle. This ring may also be worn on any finger of either hand. The inside should contain the Latin phrase Deus micu jus, God and my rights, the wearer's name, and the date he received the 33rd degree. Inheritance instructions are the same as for the 14th degree ring. Special notes regarding other rings. There are many other styles of Scottish Rite ring, including 32nd degree rings, double-headed eagle rings, combinations, and hundreds more. None of these rings are forbidden to be worn, but they are not considered an official part of Scottish Rite regalia. The double-headed eagle. The double-headed eagle is the predominant symbol of the Scottish Rite, found everywhere from lapel pins to door plaques to rings. The symbol was inherited by the Scottish Rite from the Order of the Royal Secret, whose preeminent degree was Knight Kadosh, or Knight of the Black and White Eagle. Masonic tradition holds that Stephen Morin, the founder of the Order of the Royal Secret, may have taken it from the Council of the Emperors of the East and West, which in 1761 granted him a patent. Albert Pike believed that the double-headed eagle may have been derived from alchemy. The black double-headed eagle can be found in alchemical works dating as far back as 1400. The Master Craftsman program is a 6-part mail-order correspondence course designed and distributed by the Supreme Council with the hope of furthering Masonic knowledge and understanding. The course is open to Masons and laymen alike and uses Arturo de Hoyos' Scottish Rite Ritual Monitoring Guide and Rex R. Hutchinson's A Bridge to Light as its course books. Each part contains a series of open book, multiple choice questions, followed by an essay section. Once a part is completed, it is mailed to the House of the Temple for grading and evaluation. The next part of the course is then mailed to the student. Upon completion, a student receives a personalized certificate and lapel pin. Upon completion of the Master Craftsman program, one can continue their Masonic education with the Master Craftsman 2 program, which expands the curriculum to 9 courses and re-explores the rituals in greater depth. The highest level of organization in worldwide Scottish Rite Freemasonry is the jurisdiction. Each jurisdiction is sovereignly governed by a Supreme Council, which administers and sets the agenda for its given territory. There is no higher unifying body above this level. The United States is divided into 2 Masonic jurisdictions. The Northern Masonic Jurisdiction, headquartered in Lexington, Massachusetts, comprises the 15 northeastern states, north of the Mason-Dixon line and east of the Mississippi River. It was ratified in 1815. The Southern Masonic Jurisdiction, called the Mother Council of the World, comprises the remaining 33 continental states, Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and the District of Columbia. It is headquartered in Washington, D.C., at the House of the Temple. The Supreme Council. The Supreme Council is comprised of no more than 33 members, although this number can vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, with the top 8 officers of the Southern Masonic Jurisdiction being elected. The Chief Administrative Officer of the Supreme Council is the Sovereign Grand Commander. The remaining 7 elected officers are Lieutenant Grand Commander, Grand Prior, Grand Chancellor, Grand Minister of State, Grand Secretary General, Grand Treasurer General, and Grand Almoner. Other officers include the Grand Chaplain, who may be an honorary member, Grand Orator, Grand Master of Ceremonies, Grand Chamberlain, First Grand Equerry, Second Grand Equerry, Grand Standard Bearer, Grand Sword Bearer, and Grand Herald. The Supreme Council of the Southern Jurisdiction of the United States meets every odd year to conduct business and set policy. The Orient. Below the level of the jurisdiction is the Orient, although this level of organization is not universally applied. The Northern Masonic Jurisdiction does not use Orients. An Orient is administered by either a Sovereign Grand Inspector General or a deputy to the Supreme Council. There are 37 Orients in the Southern Masonic Jurisdiction, each named after the state or territory in which they reside. Valleys. Orients are divided into 1 or more valleys, each centered around a Scottish Rite temple or center. Valleys are the basic building blocks of the Scottish Rite and is where most of the activity takes place. The Chief Executive Officer of a valley is the personal representative, who, with the assistance of the Executive Committee, administers and conducts the business of the valley. The remaining executive staff officers of the valley are the Executive Secretary, Almoner, and Treasurer. Each valley is subdivided into 4 additional bodies: the Lodge of Perfection, Chapter of Rose Croix, Council of Kadosh, and Consistory. Each is responsible for conferring a part of the Scottish Rite degrees, as well as holding seminars to educate their members and various other temple duties. It should be noted that this is not a progressive line as in many Blue Lodges. The personal representative is an appointee of the Orient, and other executive officers are either appointed or elected by the Valley body. The Executive Committee. The Executive Committee is comprised of the personal representative, executive secretary, almoner, treasurer, and the top 2 officers of each of the 4 bodies, and meets monthly. In addition to elected and appointed officers, each valley employs a certain number of unelected civilian administration staff to assist with the operation of the valley. There are several additional valley groupings or clubs, some with organizations above the Orient level. Members of the Scottish Rite are free to join one or more of these groups as long as they meet the individual membership requirements. Royal Order of Ducks. Royal Order of Ducks is a club for behind-the-scenes stagehands and is open to all Scottish Rite members. Knights of St. Andrew. The Knights of St. Andrew, an organization known for its distinctive regalia, is open only to 32nd degree members of the Scottish Rite who are not yet recipients of Knight Commander Court of Honor status. 32nd degree members who are awarded the 33rd degree become honorary members. Knight Commander Court of Honor. This club is open to members who have been awarded Knight Commander Court of Honor status. 33rd Degree Club. This most exclusive club is only open to those who have received the 33rd degree. Scottish Rite Research Society. This group is open to all and is dedicated to the study of Masonic history, philosophy, symbolism, and ritual. Associate Clubs. A valley may contain one or more associate clubs, usually located away from the valley center, that meet monthly or bi-monthly.